In this video we will be learning about static method and filter method. Static method are methods that are bound to a class rather than its object. They do not require a class instance creation, so they are not dependent on the state of the object. So let's create a class Mathematics and we'll be carrying out an addition. So let's create a method and numbers, add numbers, okay, and then we'll make the argument as x and y. So let's return the addition of x and y, okay, and now let's create a add number static method. So mathematics dot add numbers equals static method, and then mathematics dot add numbers, okay. So now we will be printing the sum. So the sum is, and let's say mathematics dot add numbers. So we will be putting the x and y as, let's say, 5 and 10. Okay, so let's see the output. So you can see the output as 15. Okay, similarly, let's take another example. So we'll create a utility function as a static method. So let's create a class named dates, okay, and then we'll define init and self as the argument and date, okay. So self dot date equals date. Let's create another method, getDate, getDate, okay, self as the argument, return self dot date, okay. So now our static method to-date, okay, and date as the argument. So we'll return date.replace. So we'll replace slash to dash, okay. Now let's take a date variable, date equals dates, and let's put the date as, let's say, 20, 10, and then 2022, okay. So we'll take another date from DB equals 20, 12, let's say 10, 2022. So date with dash equals dates dot to dash date, okay, and I am going to put it as date from DB, okay. So let's make a if statement. If date dot get date, okay, and then equals date with dash, we'll print equal, okay. We'll make else statement, print unequal. So now let's run it. So here there is a, I have put the capital C. So here you can see the output is equal. So here we have a dates class that only work with dates with dashes. However, in our previous database all dates were present in slashes. So in order to convert the slash date to dash date, we have created a utility function to dash date with dates. So it is a static method because it doesn't need to access any properties of dates itself and only require the parameters. So we can also create to-date outside the class, but since it works only for dates, it's logical to keep it inside the dates class. So let me put some enter, and I am going to comment filter method. Okay, filter. Okay, so this filter method constructs an iterator from elements of an iterable for which a function returns true. So let me make a list and let me put it inside letters variable. So I am going to put like A, B, D, E, okay, I, and similarly let's say J, and I am going to take one more as let's say O. Okay, so this is our letters. So we'll take a function that filters vowels. So filter, okay, filter vowels, and let's take letters as the arguments, letter. Okay, and now I am going to make a vowels variable, and let me store the vowels inside it. A, E, I, O, and U. So this is our list of vowels. So let's make a if statement if letter in vowels, okay, and we'll return 2 if it's there. Let's make else statement, else return false. Okay, so let's make a variable filtered vowels, filtered vowels. Okay, so let me call filtered vowels, and let us so let's print the filter vowels. Let's say the filtered vowels are, okay, and let's make a for statement for vowel in filtered vowel. Okay, we'll print the vowel. Okay, so let's run it. So you can see the filtered vowels as A, E, I, and O. So here we have a list of letters and need to filter out only the vowels in it. So we could use a for loop to loop through each element in letters list and store it in another list. But in Python this process is easier and faster using filter method. So we have a function filter vowels that checks if a letter is a vowel or not. This function is passed into our filter method with the list of letters. So filter method then passes each letter to the filter vowel method to check if it returns true or not. In the end, it creates a iterator of the ones that return true, that is the vowels. Since the iterator doesn't store the values itself, we loop through it and print out only vowels one by one. So let's see how filter method works without the filter function. So let's put a comment without filter function. Okay, so let me put some enter, and I am going to make a list. Okay, here random list equals, so let me put a random 1 A, and let's say 0, and one more as false, and let's say true also, and let me put a string that is 0. Okay, so now let's make a filtered list. Okay, and let me put filter none and random list. So now let me print the filtered element. R. And now let me make a post statement for element in filtered list. Okay, I will be printing the element. So you can see the element 1a, 2 and 0. So here we have a random list of numbers, string and boolean in random list. We pass random list to the filter method with first parameter filter function as none. With filter function as none, the function defaults to identity function and each element in random list is checked if it's true or not. So when we loop through the final filter list, we get the elements which are true, that is 1, a, true and 0. So 0 is a string, it is also true.